Hi guys, so I'm back with another lecture of financial management. And before I start with the lecture, just a brief introduction about myself. I'm working as an assistant professor, and my name is Sandhya Rao. I'm working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, and the subject I'm taking up there is financial management in the BBA department. So, in this lecture, I'll be starting with the unit 3 of financial management, and these are the topics that we are going to cover in the subsequent lectures. Starting with financing decisions, operational and financial leverage, capital structure, in which we'll be covering three capital structure theories, that is net income theory, net operating income theory, and traditional approach, and ending with the EPS and EBIT analysis. So today we'll be doing financing decision and a brief introduction about leverage. Okay. So what actually is this financing decision? See, we have done investing decisions in which we were focusing on in which project should we actually invest our money. Okay. Now, financing decision may what we'll be doing is that we want to know from what sources should we actually borrow the money, or what kind of capital should we have in our capital structure. So investment decision can be known as capital budgeting decision, and financing decision can be known as capital structure decisions. Because uh, in this area or in this field, our only focus is on capital structure. That means what should be the quantum of debt and equity in our capital. Okay, so this is what financing decision actually means. So we want to have an optimum level of debt and equity, which will help us to maximize the overall wealth of the shareholders. Okay, so this is all financing decision. So a financial decision which is concerned with the amount of finance to be raised from various long-term sources of funds like equity shares, preference shares, debentures, bank loan, etc. is called financing decision. In other words, it is a decision on the capital structure of the company. Okay. So there are two very important components. One, the capital structure. Second, the quantum of capital. Okay. That how much money should be raised from equity, how much should be raised from preference share, how much needs to be shared from debt, how much needs to be shared from other long-term financing options, okay, which are available. For example, bank loan and other options. Now, what exactly are the things which affect our financing decisions? Or you can say how we are going to evaluate that, whether we should go for equity or not, whether we should go for debt or not. So what are the factors that affect this decision? All right. So these are six factors that actually affect our financing decision. One is cost, second risk, flotation cost, control, capital market, and cash position. Now, how are these factors actually affecting our financing decision? See, cost basically means the cost of that particular capital, cost of equity, cost of debt, cost of preference shares, cost of loans, etc. So this cost actually affects our financing decision. We all know that equity is more costly than debentures. So if we have cash constraint, or if we feel that we won't be able to bear that cost, bear such a huge cost, we will go for debentures, okay, or for a slightly lesser costly option as compared to equity. Now, why is equity more costly than any other option for the generation of capital is that for a company, uh, if the revenues are good, then you have to pay good dividends to your shareholders, and also you have to give them ownership rights. But as compared to that, in debentures, that's not the case. If the company is enjoying good profits, even then, in that case, the company will only pay a fixed amount of interest to the debenture holders. Okay. Also, uh, it gives us tax benefit, and in case of equity, there is no tax benefit. So that is why equity becomes a relatively costly option. Second is risk. Now, what kind of risk? Here, risk means financial risk. So if a company feels that debentures are very risky, which means that in case of loss, the company will still have to pay interest to the debenture holders. So that is financial risk. That when a company might not be in a position to pay off the return or to pay off the interest to the security holders, that is known as financial risk. So if a firm feels that uh, raising funds through debentures is very risky, then they will go for equity. Next thing is flotation cost. We all know that when we raise security, we have to incur certain costs, like legal costs are there, some paperwork is there, so some prospectus needs to be issued. So all these things, they add on to your cost. So when the flotation cost is too high, it becomes very obvious that we should always go for other options, because when we go on increasing the flotation cost, the benefit that you're going to reap off from that particular option of raising funds will become less. Okay, so it's always better to go for other options which have less flotation cost. Next thing is control. Control here means control over your management. And when we issue equity shares, the equity shareholders become the owner of the company, and they start coming to your AGMs, and they have a certain vote, they have given certain voting rights also. So they try to influence the decision making in the organization. Now if you feel that you do not want to dilute the control of your company, then you will certainly go for debentures. Okay, because debenture holders do not have any voting rights, they do not have substantial control over the management. So if you have control issues, you will go for debentures. Next thing is capital market. See, capital market is very volatile. We all know that every now and then there is something happening in the market. So how do companies respond to that? When the capital market or when the economy is operating on boom period, okay, it's all going very good. So in that case, for a company to raise funds from equity becomes very easy, because everybody feels that the economy is operating well, the economy is operating on good terms. So the company will also generate good revenues, and we'll be getting good hikes in dividends, and we will enjoy a good period of time. But in case of recession, people would, they will feel reluctant to invest their money in shares. So companies will also find it very difficult to raise funds through equity. So in case of recession, companies will also choose debentures over equity. Why? Because people will feel more secure when they invest their money in debentures. In case of recession, when already the economy is facing so many problems, there's a hope that they will be earning a good income, a stable income, and it will be consistent. So they feel more secure, they feel more stable, and that is why the companies will also issue debentures in that case. Next thing is cash position. This is very obvious. If you are having good cash reserves, then you will be able to pay them dividends or interest. And if you're not able to generate good cash reserves or good cash revenue, then obviously you will not be in a position to pay them revenue, interest or dividends. So if your cash position is good, you will go for debentures, because you will have to pay regular interest when you issue debentures. You cannot skip it. And if you feel that you have like you're not able to have consistent cash reserves, in that case you will go for equity, because paying dividends on equity is not compulsory, although it is required that you should pay. But in certain cases, when the company is not having good revenues, or incurring certain losses, then you can go for equity in that case. Okay. And you can pay good dividends when you will be back on track, when you will be earning good revenues, so you can cover up for that loss. Now, next thing is, okay, so this is a brief explanation of all the factors that actually affect the financing decision. So this I've already explained to you. So cost, which means the cost of equity is more than the cost of debentures. That is why people will go for debentures if they feel they want to incur less cost. Risk, again, I've told you that in case of debentures, you have to pay fixed amount of interest to the debenture holders. So if you're not able to pay fixed and consistent interest to the debentures holder, then you can go for equity. And if the flotation cost is very high, then you should always skip that kind of option. And if the cash flow position of the company is good, you can go for debentures. And control, obviously, if you want to have control over the company, you will go for debentures and not for equity. And the kind of capital market, the state of capital market also have a bearing upon the financing decision. During boom period, funds can easily be raised through shares, but during the times of the recession or depression, the firm has to raise funds through debt. Now, what is the importance of a financing decision? First thing is that it increases the value of the firm. Second, it minimizes the cost of capital. Third, it ensures solvency or liquidity position. Fourth is minimization of financial risk. Now we'll discuss one by one in detail. So starting with increase in the value of firm. Now, how does a good financial decision affects or increases the value of firm? See, when we borrow or when we finance our investments through the right option, it will always help us to increase the value of firm by increasing the wealth of our shareholders. How? Now here we have to take proper and we have to do critical analysis of each and every financing option available to us. Okay, so there should be an optimum mix of debt and equity, and when we have that optimum mix, it will always help us to increase the shareholders wealth. Second thing is minimization of the cost of capital. Now, when we increase the debt in our capital, it helps us to get tax benefit to a certain extent. And that is how we are able to reduce the cost of capital. Okay? And next thing is solvency or liquidity position. Every organization which does a thorough study of each and every financing option, they will be able to maintain a good solvency position, which means that they will always be in such a position that they have sufficient cash with them, they have sufficient reserves with them. Okay, their entire income will not go in the distribution of interest or dividends. They will obviously have certain amount of retained earnings also, and they will always be in a position to pay good dividends and good interest rates. And that is only possible when you are having good liquidity position or solvency position. Next is minimization of financial risk. I have already told you financial risk means the risk of finding yourself in such a situation where you won't be able to pay interest rates, when you won't be able to pay interest to the debenture holders. So that is financial risk. So when we are taking, when we are considering all the factors very comprehensively, in that case, we will be able to minimize the financial risk because we'll be having an optimum mix. So we won't be having too much of debt in our company, okay, because too much debt will add on to the burden of company. So we will have adequate amount of preference shares, also adequate amount of debt and equity, and that is how we'll be able to increase the wealth of our shareholders, reduce the total cost of capital, and also we'll be able to reduce the financial risk. So that is why it is very important that you take this decision after considering all the factors comprehensively and cohesively. Okay, it's a very important kind of a decision. Now, the next thing that needs to be studied is leverage. Now, what do you mean by leverage? We have often heard this term that, this XYZ company is a leveraged firm, ABC company is a leveraged firm, B company is not so leveraged company. So, what is this leverage all about? What exactly does it mean? So, leverage is basically an investment strategy of using borrowed money. Now here borrowed money means using debentures. Okay, borrowed money means debentures, and owner's fund means shares. So leverage is relating to use of debentures in our capital structure. So when we keep on adding debentures in our capital, it means that we are becoming more and more leveraged. So any company which is having debentures in their capital structure, it means that they are leveraged. So leverage basically means an investment strategy of using borrowed money, okay, where you will be investing your money in certain assets using debentures, using the funds that you have raised through debentures. Now, why we are doing that? Because when we use debentures in our capital structure, it increases the potential of return. It increases the return capacity. How? And it also reduces the cost. Again, how? So, when we add debentures in our capital, it reduces the cost because it gives us tax benefit, and it has a bearing upon the total or overall cost. Also, it increases the potential return of any investment. How? Because when we will be comparing our rate of return that we are going to generate from the investment, that will be compared with this cost of capital of debentures. So it helps to know or it helps to set a benchmark that we have to earn more return than this. So we'll be more conscious about the investment decision also. I've already said that these investment decisions and financing decisions are very interrelated. Both have a bearing upon each other. Next, when one refers to a company, property, or investments as highly leveraged, it means that item has more debt than equity. Okay. So this was leverage. So a few points, or you can say features of or the characteristics of leverage means leverage refers to the use of debt to amplify returns from an investment or project. Investors use leverage to multiply their buying power in the market. Companies use leverage to finance their assets. Instead of using or issuing equity to raise capital, companies can use debt to invest in business operations in an attempt to increase the shareholders' value. So this is the impact of leverage, how it actually amplifies or multiply the return that you're going to generate. So when you invest 100 rupees in some asset or in any other investment option, and the leverage ratio is 400 to 1, then your trading power or the actual return that you're going to generate will become 40,000. Okay, so you could see that what is the impact of leverage. So a leveraged firm is always better than the non-leveraged firm. Okay, so when we'll be doing those capital structure theories of NI, NOI, and traditional theory, they will explain us that how much should be,
how much should be the or what is the adequate amount of debt that we should actually have in our capital. Okay, because too much debt is again not very good for our company. When we are having too much debt, it means we are adding so much burden, or we are adding to the burden of the company, because they have to pay interest to the debenture holders. And having no debentures at all again is a very bad kind of a situation, because in that case your tax liability will increase, because debentures always give you tax benefit. It reduces the amount, it reduces the taxable income. Okay, so it's always good, but you should be in a position to identify the optimum level of debentures that you should have in your capital. So that we will get to know from capital structure theories. And there are two types of leverage. One is financial leverage, one is operating leverage. Now the effect of these two and how we calculate it, we will do it in the subsequent lectures. So just a quick recap of what we have done today. I have told you about financing decision. So these decisions basically mean that from where we have to raise the funds. Okay, from what sources do we have to raise the funds? And these are the factors that affect the financing decisions: cost, risk, flotation cost, control, capital market, and cash position. Then I have told you why it is important to take financing decisions, because it affects the profitability and it affects the cost. Okay, and it also affects the wealth of the shareholders. I have told you about leverage. So leverage basically means use of borrowed funds, which means use of debt in the capital. And this is the this is just an example. We'll go more into detail about it in the subsequent lectures of how it actually magnifies the return. So this is it for today's lecture. Now question time. So these are 3 questions that I've given to you. So how do tax policy affects the financing decision? Okay, because tax policy also have a bearing upon financing decision, and this you will think about, you will have to study about this. Okay, so this is your homework. Why is debt considered to be more risky as compared to equity? I have already explained this in my lecture. And third is, what do you mean by leverage? Okay, this also I have told you, so you will be in a position to answer it. Okay, so this is it. Thank you.